where is this entrepreneurial kind of drive that you had outside of just going, oh, I'm going to be a TV personality?
Right.
You know, where did that shift, or has it always been part of you?
Boredom.
Yeah.
It's just like, not boredom. I should say that because, like, a lot of my colleagues who are designers, they're so, they're anal about so much detail, and I'm just like, gosh, you're so good. But I'm off to something else. And look, I love doing what I do and working on TV, but I'm fortunate enough to still work on TV, which is crazy because I've been doing it now for 17 years. And that's a long time, especially for a guy who's, again, just was a builder in Michigan,
Yeah.
and with that, I kind of knew I wanted to get into other things, and that helped afford, my sort of like my wants and desires. And at the time, I was young and dumb enough to think that I could start a winery, which I don't know that I would do that today because I'd be like, that's a big stressor. Though I do have 2 other projects that are pretty big that I'm just like that are in the works. I got into the wine world because I knew Traverse City, Michigan, which again sounds crazy for the winos that are listening, but like I knew that ceiling, nobody knew where that stops.
Yeah.
And when I would talk to investors out here in Southern California, they would say, why you want to get into wine, waste all your money, which is usually what happens. Mm-hmm. Plus, it's so expensive in like Central Coast or Northern California.
Yeah.
And I said Michigan, and they're like, wait, what? That they were just like, that's the worst idea ever. But I said, look, you can get in, and it's a great fruit-bearing region. Still the largest exporter of cherries in the U.S., and a lot of people are switching cherries to vineyards. And I saw some of my friends doing it. And I felt like, okay, if they can figure it out, I can figure it out. It's, in businesses, I think it's just connecting the dots, right?
Yeah.
So if you can steer the ship and connect the dots of people to help you along the way, that's how I've always felt like with all my businesses are people that I know when I started my production company, I felt like I'm not the smartest person to edit. Right? But I know that I can, and I know that this guy over here is probably much better than me. So maybe I should get this guy over here to help me out, and maybe he wants to figure out a deal. So I just felt like, I'm not trying to make the most amount of money out of everybody in the room. I'm just trying to do stuff that's fun with everybody in the room.
Right. And be successful along the way, obviously, to be sustainable. This Full Exposure podcast episode has been made possible through the support of Metro Health, University of Michigan Health, and Dr. Peter Hahn, who believe that creativity and the arts are essential to a rich, healthy, and fulfilling life.